Hello everybody and welcome to this Train Sim World 4 video. Today I thought I would do a completely unbiased final overview of Train Sim World 4. This will be my last video before it releases. I'm not really that excited, but that's the end of the bias. This is a completely objective overview of exactly what you'll get with each of the packs. So let's get straight into it. This is the bundles. So you got Standard Edition with the Trading Centre, Antelope Valley Line, East Coast Main Line, and Vorarlberg. That's the core and the pricing as shown. Deluxe Edition is the next best, which has Training Centre, Antelope Valley Line, East Coast Main Line, Vorarlberg, and the Flying Scotsman, Dresden to Rice, and the Vectron. Dresden to Rice being an upgraded Train SimWorld 2 route, which I believe you will receive if you already own it. So you will receive the upgraded version if you already own Dresden to Rice, regardless of what version you get. And you also get the Vectron. And then for Special Edition, you get all of that, plus the 4 compatible routes, which are 4 existing routes that basically just you get layered. And I believe that's Southeastern High Speed, LGV Mediterranean, Linker Rheinstrecke, and is that NEC Boston or NEC Trenton? I can't quite remember. NEC Boston, yeah. So that is Southeastern High Speed, LGV Med, Linker Rheinstrecke, and NEC Boston. If you already own them, I'd stay away from Special because it adds absolutely nothing to your game. If you own none of them and you're going to get Deluxe, just upgrade to Special if you're interested in any one of those routes because it's a decent deal. In terms of the new content, the Antelope Valley Line. This is 76.5 miles long. We have 13 stations, and we have one train, the F125 locomotive, with the Rotem cab cars and Rotem bi-levels in between. This is a sort of rural, desert, mostly single-track line from Los Angeles Union Station out to Lancaster, I believe. Over that 76.5 miles. Takes about 2 hours end to end, although there are some services that are about 1 hour. Fairly small timetable, but reasonably detailed scenery. And the layers, you get the BNSF ES44C4 from Cajon Pass, Union Pacific SD70 ACE from Sherman Hill, and the Santa Fe F7 from the expansion pack to Cajon Pass. East Coast Main Line, Peterborough to Doncaster, is, funnily enough, the section of the East Coast Main Line between Peterborough and Doncaster, 80 miles with 5 stations in between, and the base comes with the Class 801 and the Class 66. I haven't written them because I haven't got official confirmation of this. When I do tomorrow, I will leave them in a pinned comment below. But I believe... I know it's the 158. I'm not sure what else. But definitely the 158 from Midland Main Line on a few drivable services. Fairly large timetable. It's a bit of a straight route. Reasonably high speed, considering, the UK rail network. Modern traction set in the modern day. And you get up to a reasonable speed between stations. And the longest journeys are about 1 hour end to end. S-Bahn Vorarlberg. This is our Austrian route, first Austrian route in the Train Sim World franchise. 44 miles long with 28 stations, so by far the most commuter or rapid transit oriented route. Has the largest timetable as well to further that. We get the OBB Class 4024 Talent 1 with the Deutsche Bahn Class 185 as the second thing, which is a electric freight locomotive in Deutsche Bahn Railion livery. If you have Luzern to Zersee, you get the RABE 523 in SBB livery for the services into Switzerland. If you have Hamburg to Lübeck, you get the MRCE ES64 class 182, and if you have the 18 and if as well you have the class 101, you get the intercity coaches coupled to the 182, which do some sort of substitute Eurocity trains, I believe. I'm not super sure, but I have seen screenshots of them coupled together and then mentioned. So, the other content, the Vectron and the Flying Scotsman, which only come in deluxe and special editions. They're not available for loco purchase as of yet, but some point after the game goes on sale, Dovetail have said, whether you believe this or not, they will go on sale as separate DLC. So if you just want to get standard for now and get these later, that is certainly an option. If you want to get deluxe now and get these on release, that is also an option. So yes, this comes with deluxe and special only at launch. The Flying Scotsman layers to East Coast Mainline primarily, and other routes as rail tours. And the Vectron layers primarily to Rice or Dresden for freight trains, and other routes as well, such as S-Bahn, Vorarlberg, on some freight trains. Of course, with Deluxe Edition, you get Rice or Dresden. If you don't have Deluxe Edition, if you're only going to get Special Edition, then this is, you know... I mean, if you already have Rice or Dresden, then maybe getting Special Edition and purchasing this later, I don't know, weigh it up. See what you think. It's probably just better value to get Deluxe Edition, to be honest. That's what I'd suggest, maybe. And in terms of the improvements to the general game, we have Photo Mode, which is an in-game photo taker, so you can adjust the zoom, blur, focus, rotation, all of that stuff. Free roam mode, which allows you to add your own services and delete AI services in the regular timetable mode, so you can spawn on foot, point the camera at a piece of track and spawn any train you like. So it's sort of like on-the-go scenario planner. Livery Designer 2.0 adds a bunch of new tools, such as milestone locked livery elements, make of that what you will, and the ability to type text for the first time with different fonts. Scenario Designer 2.0 adds the ability to have add splash text to your scenarios, pick more detailed and more advanced routes, and general improvements to the experience. There's a new scoring system for the action points, which are awarded in a different way to reward incorrect use of safety systems, yada, yada, yada. There's new volumetric fog, which makes the driving experience slightly more realistic. There's new rain effects, which improve the texture qualities of rain on windshields. There is new overhead line equipment rendering, which makes the overhead wires slightly thicker, so you can see them further out. There's a slightly improved UI and a slightly altered HUD. Again, make of that what you will. Better accessibility, which is always important. So if you have a particular disability, such as color blindness, or whatever, there's better haptic controls, better PC controls, better mapping abilities. There's full mapping for the first time. There might be full rail driver mapping. They've sort of loosely mentioned that. And the big one is the PC editor, which allows you to make your own routes for the game, and trains, and timetables, and whatever else you want. That is Train Sim World 4, in essence. I'm very proud of myself for skipping over all of my bias. If you've enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Make sure you're there for my live stream, my first look reaction live stream, which will be admittedly some number of hours, like 6 or 7 hours after the game releases. As is the nature of time zones, I will make that very shortly. The link will probably be open by the time you've watched this, so make sure you check that out. If you can't be there when it goes out live, check in on it later when you can, because that will be my honest thoughts. I've kept my beliefs out of this video, but if you want to learn more about my beliefs, you don't need to go far, and they're quite strong. With that, I fear I'm going to launch into a rant, so I'm going to stop myself. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.